Hey there, Rebel Scum. Well, we had a great convention this year at SDCC, and what's a great convention without awesome exclusives? And yes, this is another Jumbo review, and we'll be looking at the latest Jumbo that was an exclusive at the con this year, and that is going to be the Offworld Jawa. Now, the Offworld Jawa looks to be heavily based on the second release of the Jawa that was the non-vinyl cape version. And he's going to have a cloth robe here, and it looks like a repaint. We'll compare it to the original so we can see what's different about it. Of course, you notice his blister card is a little bit smaller. They've been doing this with some exclusives lately. Personally, I like it because it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's easier to display these like this if you want to keep them in the card. I know you're missing the image on the front, and some people complain about that, not having the giant blister card. But then again, I don't understand who is saving all those giant blister cards, or I'm sorry, the blister packs, and displaying them. It just takes up, you need a warehouse. It takes up way too much space. The cards I keep in a box. I actually use the Wampa box. It's big enough to fit a ton of cards. But the blister itself, it's wasteful. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all going to be chucking them anyway. So I think these packs are a little bit nicer. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts on it. I do, you miss that classic look of it. Maybe they could redesign a card a little bit to have the image on there. But I think it's better for displayability and for being able to keep this thing if you wanted to in the packaging. On the back we have a little description on the Offworld Jawas, and then down below we see the next releases. So we got that 8D8. We showed you guys the 8D8. Love that 8D8. We're still waiting on that Lando skip guard. He's been pushed back a couple times. I think he might be the next one out, and then we'll be seeing Sice Noodles and Droopy McCool by the end of the year, hopefully. And then of course we finally got the announcement officially of Max Rebo's release, and that's going to be in the first quarter of next year. So by hopefully late winter, we can have the entire band. Well, the entire band that was available from the original line. Who knows if we'll see retro versions of other characters in the band as well, but we'll see. For now, we have this awesome Offworld Jawa, so why don't you guys come in and we'll check him out. All right, let's check this guy out. I love the Palatoy mark right here on the card as well. That's a little bit different than what we see in the before. And then we have the stamp here. It says 1 of 750. I don't know if this is number 1 or if this is just 1 of 750. And I don't think each one is individually marked down. I think this is just 1 of the 750, not exactly number 1. That would be really odd. But here we go. We have our guy in his card back, and he is secured by a little wire tie, and then his weapon here is secured by a little I don't know what you call these, kind of like a rubber tie here, and he's got that classic Jawa blaster. Actually, absolutely love how this thing looks, and it's got the mold lines on it and everything. But the star of the show is going to be our Jawa. And how much easier was that to open than the standard packaging? So we got our guy here. He's wearing his little robe on top, and you can see the Jawa costume underneath here with the eyes painted red this time, as opposed to the yellow of the classic line, and with the brown robe underneath. This is going to be more of a darker brown or grayish robe underneath with the black hands here. Same articulation in the arms and in the legs. And he has those peg holes in the legs there. He's stamped Hong Kong. And let's see if we see a year on here, 1977. So this is going to be based on the mold of the original Jawa. I think it's basically the same thing. It's going to be a color change for the repaint, and then it's going to be a different colored robe. But I absolutely love getting the soft goods robe. I think it's just a cooler look and a cooler feel to it. And I love the Jawa in the original line because he was one of the few figures that actually held the gun well. Everyone else, it kind of like tilted off to the side or just didn't sit very well. But like he could hold it, and he could, point it very easily at that droid or whatnot. One of the few characters that actually made it seem like he could do it. I don't think does the head turn on the Jawa? I don't think it does. I think it's molded in there. I don't see a line. It should turn, as I recall, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it was all molded on one piece. Yeah, there's no turn on the head. So 4 points of articulation on this guy, unless my head is just stuck, but I'm not going to force it. Yeah, anyway, that is basically the look to it. It seems like it's a new sort of design to the robe. You can see these little pleats going all the way down all the way around the character. So we'll compare it to the old one in just a second, but I just wanted to give you guys a nice detailed shot here of this Jawa, and I think he looks great. He's a fun little addition to the collection. You could add him to your growing Mandalorian series now. We have, what, 2 Mandalorian figures and a Boba Fett, although technically he's from Book of Boba Fett. You could say he's from Mandalorian. And then this Jawa, and then we saw the IG-11 and IG-12 teased at the show, so those will be the next 2 for the Mandalorian line in there, unless there's some surprise one that we get before that. But yeah, that is basically the look at the Jawa. Let me go grab the first edition Jawa, or not first edition, but one of the other Jawas, and we'll give a little compare and contrast. Well, as you can see here, the differences in the color palettes. I mean, a much brighter brown here on this guy, and then you can see the heavy contours on the face and the head. And yeah, this head doesn't turn either, so I don't think it was part of the original mold, all molded in there, so you didn't get the original head to turn. This robe is very straight. There's no pleats in it. You can see the stitching at the bottom. It's very sharp contours. This one's a little bit more, I mean, it is finished, but it's a little bit more rough on the edges. This is very smooth. It's got almost an elastic feel to it. This is more cloth-like, so it's just a little bit more, I guess, realistic than the other one. I didn't show you the bandolier. Let's see if we could see that under here. Have to go all the way up. Yep, he's got a little, it's a brown bandolier. I kind of wonder what the one color was on the original. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But the gun should be the same color, same design. I don't see any differences there. The original bandolier is a dark brown color, so I guess particularly similar there. So that is basically it. They're the same height, they're the same mold. They both have that stamp on the leg here, the 1977. So it's the same mold. You're just getting a newly tooled rope on top there. You're getting a new paint, and then that's it. That is the difference between the two. So still very cool to have this guy in our line. Very fun that they've made him with the cloth robe versus doing a vinyl approach. I do appreciate that. So that is your complete look at your new Offworld Jawa Jumbo from Gentle Giant. So there you have a look at another great figure in the line. This line is really, really growing. We're over 50 now. This is amazing. They are committed to doing the original 99. It's what they told us time and time again in the last year or so. And FX7, I think, demonstrates that. So excited about seeing that announcement. That is one we never thought we'd get because of the complexity in the figure. But that one is on its way. We should be getting that next year. So excited about that. There are still a ton more figures to go. All the ones from Star Wars are done at this point. We do have several from Empire Strikes Back, from the Battle of Hoth that need to get out there. Excited about that AT-AT Commander when he finally gets out there. I think Lobot will be a fun design when he gets out there as well. And then we have a ton from Jabba's Palace and from the Battle of Endor. All our core characters and their Endor disguises have not been released yet. So yeah, there's a ton of characters to get to. We will get to them at some point. I keep saying again, I'm really excited about the prospect of the Death Star Gunner. I think he's a really fun look in that vintage style. To see that as a jumbo would be great. So hopefully we'll be getting that sooner rather than later. But for now, this is your latest. You should be able to get him on the website after the show if you missed him. He's a limited edition release, so don't wait. People waited on that Darth Vader removable helmet. I know a lot of people regret it now because that thing sold out fast, and that one is awesome. We did a review on that, so go back and check that out. But that guy's gone. So when they do limited releases, get them if you were even remotely interested in them, because they will disappear and they will start selling for a premium. That one I think is incredibly hard to find too, even on eBay. So yeah, that one was awesome. If you could track it down for like less than 300, go for it, because that one is really hard to find. So that is all for this time. Of course, we'll have more reviews as more products come out. The next jumbo should be Lando Skiffguard unless something happens, so look forward for that. Of course, check back on Rebel Scum every day for new news on Star Wars products, for new reviews, and for the rest of our SDCC coverage as we continuously get that up in the coming weeks. So as always, like, subscribe, and follow, and stay vigilant, you Rebel Scum.